everyone, welcome to yet another episode of ARA, Anxiety Recovery with Albright. If you're new here or you're seeing me for the first time, my name is Meggy Albert and I use my own experience of suffering / recovery to help others who are still struggling. I struggled with anxiety for 6 years and doctors told me that I could only cope and manage with my anxiety for the rest of my life. And my third eye, my gut, told me like there was a way out of this. Always trust your gut, always trust your third eye. They are the only parts in you that can see what your two eyes cannot see. So I went into self-discovery, I went into self-development, I started doing research, I started reading books, and two of the main books, out of everything that I was doing, two of the main books that aided in my recovery was At Last Alive by Paul David and what is the name of this Claire Weeks book? I keep on forgetting. Hope and Help for Your Nerves by Claire Weeks. Those are the two books that aided in my recovery. Claire Weeks' book is a little bit dated, so if you are not a reader, you may not be able to interpret clearly what she was saying because that book was written in the 60s. Claire Weeks was a physician, but she rested, a physician who also struggled with anxiety. So from her own experience, from her schooling, she was able to come up with a method to recover from anxiety. Paul David's book is also a good one. So social media is a tool. So I use my own experience out of all the things that I did. I use my experience of suffering and from my research, how I was able to recover from anxiety to help others. I get people who reach out to me, people from the UK, people from the US, from Saudi Arabia, from all over the world. So why not if these videos can be helpful to you? So if you have not subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe to this channel. Every time I post a new video, every time I'm live, also it helps the channel grow. You'll be able to get notified. Otherwise, let's dive deep into the video. So today I want to talk about a very weird symptom of anxiety. It is one of, can I say it was funny? It is very weird, and maybe up to now you may not be able to know that it is a symptom of anxiety unless I talk about it. I want to talk about a crawling sensation under the skin. You feel like, an itchy skin. Most of the time when I was struggling with anxiety, I always felt itchy on my scalp, on my hands, on my feet, and to me it never occurred to me that it was a symptom of anxiety. So if you have been having that symptom and you don't understand what is happening, probably if it's a big fish for you, you have tried to go to the hospitals, you have tried to dive deep in what it is, but you're not finding anything because with anxiety symptoms, even if you go to the hospital and you tell the doctors, can you look, like, is there something wrong with me? Of course they won't always find anything wrong with you because it's just anxiety. It's not something serious, it's not a serious illness. So if you have ever struggled with, or you are struggling with an itchy skin, you feel like you are having this crawling sensation under your skin, that's what we want to talk about. It is a symptom of anxiety and I want to tell you guys how I was able to overcome that. So stay tuned up to the end of this video. So when I was struggling, in the 6 years of me struggling with anxiety, I always had an itchy scalp. It was itchy most of the time, and worse when I was undergoing a stress in my life. Stressors are always there. Whether you're struggling with anxiety or not, you will always have stressors. So when I was, struggling with stressors in my life, maybe I had not read or, relationship issues, I used to feel like my scalp was itchy, my hands, my palms were itchy, my feet was itchy, and I used to ask myself what is this? But it was not a big fish for me to fry because I had other symptoms that I was dealing with. I had the dizziness, the heart palpitations, the feelings of anxiety, the panic attacks. So itchiness was just I can feel it, but it's not something serious to me. When I first started experiencing that symptom, it was not 24/7, it was not frequent. I used to experience it when I had stressors, then it disappears. Then I don't know, when I was in the cycle for a long time, after 3 years, after 4 years, then I started experiencing it 24/7. So I was especially when I exposed myself to the sun, plus the stressors in my life, and also something that contributed to it is I was reacting to it because you all know that with anxiety symptoms, the moment you react to it is the moment you are reinforcing it. Any symptom that you react to, whether they had palpitations, the dizziness, the intrusive thoughts, when you react to them, you are reinforcing them. So I didn't understand what was this. So I started in my quest of doing research, because of course in those books, in Paul David's book and Claire Weeks' book, there are symptoms that they were not talking about. So from my experience, I just knew this was anxiety because now I had been to the doctors. The doctors were even tired of seeing me. I remember there was a day I went to the hospital. Then there is this certain doctor. When he saw me, he was just like, "You again? What symptom is it this time?" So of course, from that time, I was never going to the hospitals because I just knew, okay, I've got to find that doctor. And of course, they were not going to find anything wrong with me. So that symptom of something crawling under your skin, when you feel like, scratching, you're scratching your head, you're scratching your hands, that is a symptom of anxiety. When struggling with anxiety, of course, your fight or flight, we're still going back to the fight or flight. Your fight or flight response is activated. And when the fight or flight response is activated, your sensory nerves become hyperstimulated. That's when you feel like even a smell can trigger you. Even a touch, this part, when someone pat me on my back like this, it used to give me anxiety. Like I used to panic, as a weird smell used to send me directly to panic. That's where some people also struggling with ringing ears like me. I struggled with ringing ears for the longest time. So your sensory nerves become hyperstimulated. That's now where you find that you are experiencing neurological symptoms like numbness, tingling, pins and needles, crawling under the skin. Those are all neurological symptoms of anxiety. It's not like something is wrong with your skin. It's an itch that comes from the mind. It's called psychogenic itch. Nothing is wrong with your skin. Of course, when I'm talking to you guys, I'm talking to people who don't have skin issues like eczema. Of course, that one you're supposed to go to the hospital and get treated. I'm talking to anxiety sufferers. So it's called psychogenic itch, which comes from the mind. Nothing is wrong with your skin. You are perfectly having a healthy skin. The neurological symptom of anxiety, the numbness, the tingling, the crawling under your skin, the pins and needles, those are symptoms of a tired mind. Your nervous system is misfiring, and as a result, you're having those. You feel like you need to scratch your scalp, you need to scratch your hands, you need to scratch your feet. Though the irony is your scratching is the one that is refueling the cycle, because when you scratch, your brain will always subconsciously need that scratch. So when you scratch, the next time you'll feel like scratching again. It's just like you are reacting. It's part of reacting. That's what I didn't know. Every time, and anxiety as a whole, when you look at it, it's an itchy itch that you're not supposed to scratch. Because even sometimes when you feel like, I need to go to the hospital, I need to check my blood pressure, I need to, use my heart monitor, I need to do something about my anxiety. That you feel like you are uncomfortable when you don't take action. So it's like an itchy itch. So this symptom was what made me understand anxiety more, because anxiety is like an itchy itch. Of course, I felt like scratching. Have you ever been bitten by an ant? Of course, you'll always feel like scratching, but with anxiety, you are not supposed to scratch. Even when you have that itchy itch on your scalp, on your hands, on your feet, the thing is you're not supposed to scratch. I know it sounds funny, it's ironical, it's paradoxical, but that's the thing. Because when you scratch, your brain will always subconsciously crave the temporary relief from scratching. So scratching refuels the cycle. Scratching refuels the cycle. Scratching keeps you with that specific symptom. So the next time you are experiencing symptoms of burning skin, so to some people it can be a burning skin, or to some people it can be you feel like something is crawling under the skin, what I'm just talking about in this video. Or to some people it may be both, like me. I was unlucky to have both. The neurological symptom of anxiety, like for example pins and needles, the tingling, the numbness, those are all symptoms of anxiety. Don't rush to the hospital. Don't Google your symptoms, because Google will tell you it's cancer. It will tell you have a skin condition. Stay off Google when struggling with anxiety. So the next time you have those symptoms, don't rush to the hospitals. I feel like, what is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? Of course they'll tell you nothing is wrong with you, because it's anxiety, it's fear. So yeah, I hope this video helps. When you're struggling with that symptom, people don't talk about it in general, but to me it is a thing. I felt alone, and even in those books there was no one who talked about that symptom. So it's a common symptom of anxiety. You're not alone. Just practice not reacting to it. Even if you feel like you need to scratch, do not scratch. Let it just feel itchy, let it just be uncomfortable, and with the time it will pass, because now your brain will not crave. If you scratch, your brain will crave for that scratch the next time. But if you just let it be, it will just disappear. So I hope this video has given you a little reassurance if you're struggling with that symptom. Make sure to like this video, of course. Make sure to comment if there's something you want me to talk about. Can you kindly comment down below? Share to people who may need it, and also subscribe to this channel if you need more valuable content like this. Of course, you gotta subscribe, because how are you helping the channel? Remember, I have a mentorship program for people who want to collapse time. You feel like you have been in the anxiety cycle for a long time and you want to collapse time, you want to recover faster. You also don't want to figure out all these things on your own. You feel like you need a helping hand in this. Use this WhatsApp to message me, use this email to message me. I help people overcome anxiety disorders permanently. So if you feel like you need more guidance on this, if you feel like we need to go deeper into your specific situation and tell you exactly what you need to do to come out of the anxiety cycle, use this number and use this email to reach out to me. Otherwise, let's meet on the next. Bye.